Hello दोस्तों, welcome to ChalaKey, Read Between the Lines. This episode is an ode to one of the greatest icons of our times, the phenomenon known as Lata Mangeshkar. ये एपिसोड रिकॉर्ड करते हुए मुझे एक बहुत बुरी खबर मिली। बप्पीदा भी चल बसे। However, the next episode will cover Bappida's achievements and why we love him so much. देखते रहिए। बहुत लोगों ने पूछा, भाई तुम लता दीदी के बारे में ऐसा क्या बताओगे कि अब तक मीडिया ने 200-250 बार नहीं बताया, या टीवी पर नहीं दिखाई दिया, या रेडियो पर नहीं सुनाई दिया। Many said, by now we know she sang in 36 languages. She was in the Guinness Book of World Records for singing the maximum number of songs. And as BBC reported, more songs than the Beatles and the Rolling Stones combined. She got the Bharat Ratna, National Awards, Filmfare Awards, etc. etc. She is the nightingale of India. Brought tears to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's eyes while singing "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logo" in honor of our soldiers fighting the Indo-China War in 1962. And her career spanned across 7 decades. A world record in itself, touching Indians across all ages, geographies and music choices. For many of this generation, this name resonates of a bygone era of Bollywood songs that many have heard and appreciated. But this episode is of consequence because of the lesson that we may have missed. Lata was one in a billion, not only because she had a great voice, well many do, not because she had a pleasant disposition or nature and got along with many people, well many do, not only because of her diction, the clarity, the knowledge of music which was pure and magical, well the list is small but many do. Okay, I'm not going to bore you any further or confuse you. The reason Lata Mangeshkar is an icon across 7 decades is not just because all of the things that I mentioned earlier. It is also because when she gave her voice, she became the voice of people. She embodied what was the tone, the context, the emotion and the requirement of that song in that moment, and the newness, the freshness in each decade of music. Whether it was solo or duet, whether it was folk, classical or western influence, she gave hits after hits because she could relate to the need of the time, the generation that listened to the music, that created breakthrough for the next threshold in sound. It's called keeping your ears to the ground, reading the room, being in touch. You get it, right? She stayed relevant in 7 decades and worked with different musicians, music directors, singers, and delivered to over 1 billion fans worldwide. बहुत हो गया ज्ञान, अब थोड़ा गान. Let's prove what I'm saying, and for my viewers, I would request you to stretch your imagination when we travel across these 7 decades of sounds, creating magic for the generation of the time. We are going with one song each in every decade for you to appreciate what I've been saying. Let's start with 40s. Starting from the beginning, in 1949, Lata sang for a film called Barsat. There were many firsts in that movie. Shankar Jaikishan launched their music career and the film was the first true hit by the legendary Raj Kapoor. Here's a snapshot of the song being picturized on the beautiful Nargis. '50s. In this 1951 release, the star with his inimitable, humorous, easy on the eye style, the genius Bhagwan Dada, was suitably matched with the actress Geeta Bali and the naughtiness in her voice delicately used. Here's a sample.
ना कोई जीते ना कोई हारे, आज क्यों ना फिर मिल जाए
think you are getting the gist of it. Let's talk about the 60s. Dive straight into it. This song, filmed on Sadhana of the infamous Sadhana cut, is a beautiful rendition of her urging Manoj Kumar, the actor, to gather her in an embrace in that moment, since that moment may never return again in this lifetime. Catapulted Sadhana's career. Take a look.
लग जा गले के फिर हंसी रात हो न हो.
Wow, let's talk about the 70s. The 70s were defined by the music composition of the duo Lakshmikant Pyarelal. This song, Ek Pyar Ka Nagma Hai, from the 1972 film Shore, was filmed on Nanda in Lata Mangeshkar's voice and Manoj Kumar in Mukesh's voice. Well, Mukesh won the Best Singer Filmfare for this one. I think you're really enjoying by this time. Let's go into the 80s. This song, it's a rare piece. Take a look.
तुझसे नाराज नहीं जिंदगी हैरान हूँ मैं.
I think you're on board by now. Let's talk about 90s. 90s brought some new sensibilities and some new sounds in Hindi cinema. Guess who brought them? Yes, A.R. Rahman. This music composer lent some path-breaking music to this 1998 release Dil Se, and the song Jia Jale, picturized on the innocent but vivacious looking, dimple-cheeked Preeti Zinta, set the screen on fire. Don't believe me? Watch it for yourself.
जिया जले जहाँ चले नैनों तले धुआं चले रात भर धुआं चले जानू ना सकीरी जिया जले जहाँ जले.
Isn't it great? In the 2000s, the new millennium, Lata Didi delivers one of the best and the biggest hits of her career. It's one of those breakthrough movies that set the tone for the new millennium. Lata Didi was right in the driving seat. See for yourself in Mohabbati.
हमको हमी से चुरा लो.
You will watch the pain and the joy in the voice you will experience, the earnestness with which the lovers Shah Rukh Khan and Preeti Zinta meet after several years of separation has been embodied with pure melody loaded with emotions in this song. Well, these are not just words. You don't have to take my word for it. See it for yourself to believe it.
तेरे लिए हम भेजे हर आंसू पिए.
I think now you believe me. The only comment after she passed away I appreciated was from her co-singer Udit Narayan. And I quote, "It always felt like I am singing with Goddess Saraswati herself." How true. I believe Lata Mangeshkar will live through her voice for generations to come. I, for one, am celebrating her life and reliving my childhood and youth through her songs and enjoying every moment of it. I hope you do the same. Rest in peace, Lata Mangeshkar. Namaskar.